Woo, what up, my friends? This water's not usually flowing like this. There's a risk of flash flooding, but that pressure building, you know what I mean? Whew. I was thinking on my walk, you probably couldn't hear me over that crap, but I'm kind of loud sometimes, so we'll see. But not crap, beautiful sounding waterfall. But I was thinking about what's going on. I was on Instagram today, right? And I never ever do this, but I had upwards to 1,000 followers. Not that that's a lot, right? It's not a fucking lot, but I had about 1,000 followers. And I look at how many I'm following, and then I look at it now, and it's 3 something, right? So I'm like, what the fuck is up with that, And it was I look, and it's a lot of people that I consider friends, that unfollowed me. And, probably because of my views on this Democrat freaking administration, which I voted for, by the way, unfortunately, right? So these motherfuckers always saying, even my mother's like, oh, you a right-wing conservative now, just admit it. I'm like, what the fuck? I've never been a right-wing conservative. I've never been, I consider myself on the left. I consider myself progressive, but that's changed. So I don't know what that is. I consider myself an old school liberal, right? But there's no more, not in government, not even, that you see out in the streets, right? It's all these fucking weirdos now freaking out. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. My thought was, I used to have to delete so many people off of, no, I didn't have to, but I did. I deleted a lot of people off of Facebook because I was like, oh, I just want to keep kind of close friends. I don't know who these people are who don't interact with me. I know who they are, but they don't interact with me, but they're always silently watching or whatever. So my suspicious mind thought, right? But what I realized is, back when I was a professional victim, like so many of us are, well, I'll just keep it on me. I always had people reaching out, oh, are you okay? Blah, 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 blah. Oh my God, I've been through the same thing. And, and I figured out they loved me like that, right? People loved me. Mosquitoes are crazy out here. It's freaking, the rain stopped, so it's pretty good. It's slippery, everything. Anyway, I'm out here, you know what I mean? I ain't, I have to watch my footing a little more. It's really wet and, everything's slippery. But anyhow, I figured out that, and I was the same way, I'd see friends of mine, from the old days, doing positive shit, my friend, well, anyway, people hiking and doing the Appalachian, the Appalachian Trail, and just getting the shit together, I'd watch other people starting to exercise and starting to show improvements in their life, and I didn't think, I was always one of those people oh, well, you don't understand. I got all these pains. I got injuries. I got addiction issues and blah, 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 right? But what I figured out is misery loves company. Because I was the same way, man. I'd be oh, I hope you do all right. I get the struggle and blah, blah, blah. But I had to actually make a conscious decision and an effort every day to get away from the bullshit that I was stuck in, right? Intentionally stuck in, it seemed like. A lot of times, I wanted to stop. I wanted to change. I wanted to put that one foot in front of the other, right? But it felt so daunting. Where do I start? Oh, what if I'm not doing it right? What if this? What if that? All these what ifs, right? And all the I'm going to try, right? And again, I made a video about this the other day. Trying is failure. This is so mucky out here right now. And, where there's normally no water, there's tons of water. But, I'm done with the trying, right? I put my action foot forward now, and I get it. I was always when I was being the way that I was, when I was all fucked up on dope, fucking all that lifestyle, alcoholism, everything, just being miserable. I understand why people are following me, right? Because it makes your issues not seem that fucking bad, right? I know in Alcoholics Anonymous or NA, they used to say, a lot of people, they hang out with people that are much worse than them, right? So they don't look as bad, right? So I know I was that for a bunch of people, and there was a bunch of people that were that for me, and some people, that I guess I've had some words with over the last year, 2 years, were people that had some kind words and had some advice that actually over time did help, and I want to thank you, but I have to cut the dead fat. There's still people that I won't do it to because I still truly care about them. They're from my childhood, and I just want to see them do well as I want to do well, but I had to cut a lot of the fat, figuratively and on my body. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sorry if I offended. Well, no, I'm not. I'm not sorry if I offended you by quitting heroin. I'm not sorry if I offended you by getting in shape. Working on my physical and mental and spiritual. I'm not sorry about that. I'm not sorry for avoiding diabetes. I see it all the time. And friends of mine and they're like, oh, it's always I'm this, I'm that. It's never. Maybe I should work on this morbid obesity first, right? And then, they wanted to put me on, what do they call it? Statins, right? Statins for cholesterol. They wanted to put me on diabetes medication, right? For fat boy fucking Sugarfoot, right? I couldn't breathe. They told me I had bronchitis, chronic bronchitis, and COPD, and all this other shit, right? They said I had depression, right? But I was high on heroin. I was constantly smoking cigarettes. I was so out of fucking shape, I couldn't even do this little walk, right? Don't get me wrong, I'm still out of breath sometimes, right? But I push myself, and it's you're never going to get anywhere with this whataboutism and, oh, poor me, woe is me. Like, yeah, man, I didn't want to come out here today. It's fucking pouring out, and it's beautiful. There's nobody down here, no dogs to bite me, you know what I mean? At least not yet. But like, you just make an effort, anything, and shit. If you, I hate to see it, and I got to learn another way of reaching out to people that isn't, I don't know, so harsh, I guess, or I don't know, you know what I mean? Because I know, like I was saying about people that I know that were exercising and all that, like, I'd give them a nod and oh man, good job, blah, blah, blah. But really in my mind, I was like, this motherfucker don't understand. He don't get what I went through. He didn't have the child, or she didn't have the child. He, she, whoever didn't have the childhood I had. They didn't come from, I had a cockroach in my motherfucking ear as a kid. I had to go to the hospital, get that shit removed. You know what I mean? Like, life hasn't been easy, but it's shown me. Oh, right. It's shown me that it doesn't have to be like that. I don't have to wallow in the misery and the suffering of my friends or people that I associate with. I can celebrate their successes, and I can give them a pat on the back and say, hey, it'll be all right, and turn around and try it tomorrow for their failures, just like I do to myself. I'm not always the softer kind of person, and I know that. But, I'm working on that as well. But, like, if I'm not hard on myself, I don't do shit. Nothing. I'm a lazy motherfucker. Lazy. I don't want to do shit, I want to do heroin. You know what I mean? I want to do crack. I want to fucking party with fucking crazy motherfuckers. And I want to, be part of that street life, but not really, Sounds good a little bit in the back of your head here and there because of the irresponsibility of it all, and that's really what appealed to me from that lifestyle is the irresponsibility of it all, and then pretending like I don't give a fuck. When I seen people graduating from colleges and universities and in trade schools and in the unions and working these like gigs with pensions and benefits and all of that, I was jealous. I was jealous of a lot of you, And the ones that I wasn't jealous of, I was glad that you were doing just as shitty or if not worse than I was, because then I could go, look, I ain't so fucking bad. You know what I mean? And I get that, man. It's tough sometimes to really take the focus on everybody else. Whoa. And then and put it squarely back on ourselves, you know. At least for me, I know it is for me. It's really hard to do that. And you know, I don't know what the solution is. I mean, maybe it's just, I mean, I'll just post my videos on social media and don't really interact with anybody, and you know, I'm getting, yeah, whatever, you know. I mean, I don't know what it is, but like, you know, and then I start getting a little bitter. I'm like, well, I was gonna throw a reunion for these motherfuckers, but they're all fucking ungrateful. They don't fucking interact. They don't comment. Blah blah. It's all bullshit. I don't care. I mean, in most ways, I don't care. You know, and that's been the hardest part for me, because the people that I grew up hanging out with, they were my family when my family wasn't there. You know, be it as dysfunctional as it may have been, they were my family. You know, and I feel like letting go, I'm you know, I'm losing that, right? But sometimes you gotta shed the fat, right? I'm shedding the fat now, you know, and like, you know, hey, I'll always be here if you wanna throw a line and be like, hey man, shit man, I started doing this and that, and you know, my head started being different and yada yada, because that's how I felt, you know what I mean? I started, you know, like when I was diagnosed with all this bullshit, you know what I mean? I'm like, I was on heroin. Of course I was fucking depressed. You know, I was fucking over 300 pounds, you know, of course I was unhealthy. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I'm over 6 feet tall, but still over 300 pounds ain't healthy, you know? And so I'm on a different journey today, you know, and maybe I should just keep the harshness on myself and not really, you know, don't focus on anybody else, you know what I mean? Because the only person you can save is yourself. I mean, your children you can't save, you know, unless it's like a fire or something like that, maybe you could, but like, you know, you can't save your spouse. You can't save anybody who doesn't want saving, you know what I mean? You can't make an addict quit, right? Just like you can't, you know, it's just, it's impossible, you know. I was introduced to AA and NA when I was fucking 13 years old by the courts. You know? It didn't work until I was 49 years old. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I had some successes here and there. I'm just, it's a little, yeah, it's tough. It's tough, and you know, I don't know exactly what I was trying to say, but I don't take it personally. You know what I mean? I did for a little while, but no, I don't take it personally. You know, do what you got to do to be healthy, and you know, if you're not feeling healthy, you know, I hope that you get there someday. You know, and if not, I'll probably won't go to your funeral either. I stopped going to them a while ago. All right, peace, everybody. Have a great day. Get motivated. Stay hard.